All right, let's get rolling. We're here on the Blood Prison Shakedown, and we're keeping it Blood Prison themed. I've had Brian Dembski, who is our acting manager. I've had the warden's widow, Andrea, on. We had Mike, Tom, and Anthony, but we'll get into that later on what happened with that one. Right now, we're getting back to the roots of the haunt, where it starts, where it begins for the customer coming in. We're talking to a couple actors here at Blood Prison and my zone leaders. Let's welcome into the Shakedown George Deskins and Allie Brown. How you guys doing?
Good.
You guys
Wonderful.
doing all right?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Glad to have you guys on here. We actually have somebody else in the room, but she doesn't want to be seen.
She's our ghost.
Yeah, she's the ghost of... I don't even know what the
Ghost
hell.
of the house.
Ghost of the... Never mind. Let's not get into that. She's going to be yelling at us by the time it's over.
We love you,
Got
Jen.
Jen sitting over here, and anybody who knows our haunt knows who the doll is upstairs, and the one that just chases you around the house, humping your leg the whole time. It's like, get out of here, Jesus! Good stuff. So, all right, let's get on with it. So, I got George and Allison here. Now, George, did you guys start the same year at Blood Prison?
I started when you did Paranormal Pen.
Okay, all right. So that was going to be 2016. So
I started.
No, it's all right.
2017.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you were the first year of Blood Prison, technically.
Yes.
So, George, where were you at your very first year?
I was in the zombie mosh pit area.
Yes, and is that where you were as well, yes?
I was in Blood Alley, but then it turned into Zombie Mosh Pit. So we did technically start in the Zombie Mosh Pit together, but we kind of rose up from there as a kind of a team together. Mm-hmm. We tag teamed the Zombie Mosh Pit together.
Well,
it was
a
good time.
It was interesting, yeah.
Not your brightest idea, but it was a good
Hey,
time.
you know what? When that was my idea.
It was.
And when I ran that by everyone at the meeting, dude, they went off on it. I mean, they loved the idea. They were like, this will be cool. Touch pass only, zombie mosh pit. So, like, as the guests are coming in, the touch pass people go this way, and if you don't have a touch pass, you go the other way. So then you just get your ass kicked to this heavy metal music, and I'm thinking, this is going to be cool. Like, people will dig this.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was.
My only downfall with it was like we never had enough people in there. So it's like 3 or 4 people, like trying to do this mosh pit, and people are getting, what the hell's going on here? Jesus.
Some nights it had to be a one-man mosh pit.
Oh, yeah.
And George and I had the same song, Heretic Anthem, stuck in our head for
Yeah.
the entire season over and over again.
Well, here's the thing, though. There was more than just that, but that, for whatever reason, that was the song that you guys...
That's
the most memorable one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the only one that had lyrics the entirety of that.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is when Incarceration was here last year, Slipknot was on the show, and they didn't even play the song.
We were very upset. We waited during Incarceration for them to play it, and then got really
and they
upset
didn't.
when they didn't.
And you were going to start a new zombie mosh pit right there.
Right there.
We were ready.
Oh, well. Maybe next... Well, no, not next year. It's Korn. Mm. So... Maybe we'll all have to go to a Slipknot show.
Yes.
And
let's go.
Maybe that'll have to happen. Let me call Corey Taylor up.
I don't even know if they play that song anymore.
There was a thing online like a week later, and there was 2 songs I wanted to hear. It was the Heretic Anthem and Spit It Out. And they didn't play either one of those songs. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But then they played it when they did their Iowa stop. When they stopped in Iowa, they played both of those. And I was like, really? So they can't always play the ones you want, I guess.
No.
Right.
So, Allison, tell me about, did you work at another haunt before you came here?
I didn't.
Not even, like, guest act anywhere?
Nope.
No?
I started because my mother-in-law and her best friend both worked for you, and they suggested that I do it, and I was like, I ain't got nothing else better to do, might as well.
Now, you have a love for Halloween already.
I did. My dad and I used to always come out to the reformatory every year growing up, and literally, when I was stationed in Japan, because I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
I came home, literally got off the plane, and that day showered, and I got home in October. When I got out, we literally came straight out here that same day, and I got to come out here, and then the next, it was a couple seasons later, I started here.
Right, okay. Yeah. So that would have been, 2014-ish?
13.
So that's the final couple years of the old regime that was in here. So, like, you could... I mean, I came before, too. So it's a lot different now
Oh,
than
it's
it was
way different.
than it was when the old regime was running it. But one thing that I was always jealous about was that they had the front of the building, and we've never had that, and that kind of sucks. Because that was the best part for me. Honestly, was like that first trek through the front of the building.
Yeah, you used to go up the stairs.
Yeah, you go up the stairs and have all that crazy the clown hallway up there and everything. So that was kind of cool. So Allison, I say Allie, but your real name is Allison.
Yes.
Do you prefer?
I go by either. Usually Allie. It's easier.
Should I call you what I call you during the season?
No.
So how did you end up in the Marine Corps? Let's talk about that. We got a Marine among us.
In high school, I was actually dating a guy that was enlisting. He was my best friend. He's actually married to my best friend right now. No, it's nothing like that.
Wow.
No, it's nothing like that.
As the world turns.
No, him and I grew up together. Our parents were friends, and her and I are still best friends.
Yeah.
They're down in North Carolina right now, and I was like, I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to do anything else, and I was like, okay, let's join the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, well, why don't you join the Army or the Navy? And I was like, yeah, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to join the best of the best.
Oh, here we go.
And so I'm
going to start a war right here on the Shakedown.
I did. And so
with the Army people. Dembski was in here. He was in the Navy.
Yeah.
And
so I did it, and I made it, and I was an intelligence analyst, and I was stationed in...
Now, well, there we go. Now that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me an intelligence, what was it?
Intelligence analyst.
Analyst. So you had to analyze intelligence?
No, pretty much what we did was, so I was stationed in Japan. So a big thing, like when I was in Japan, if you remember when like the tsunami hit the Fukushima reactor.
Yes.
I was in Japan when that happened.
Didn't that all that radiation and everything?
Kind of, yes.
Is that why your hair's pink?
No. That's, no.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
What you do is you gather like information from like all different sources, secret, top secret, and open source, and you pretty much take all the information together and you build a brief, which is like a PowerPoint presentation, and you brief it to the commander as to what you think is going to happen, what the predicted outcome you think is going to happen. There's a lot of like critical thinking type stuff.
Is there anything that you could tell us that you would have to kill us if you told us?
No.
Oh, well.
No.
I guess not. I guess I ruined
I
that
mean,
thought.
I might have a couple of those.
I mean, there was a lot that we knew before, like, it happened type stuff, but I have stuff that was back in 2012.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's all out now, but...
So Japan, then, anywhere else? Where else
I was
did
in
you go?
Korea.
Korea?
I was in Korea for my 21st birthday, which was a blast.
I bet.
Yes, but I spent from 2010 to 2013 when I came home in Korea and Japan. So it was a good time. I miss it. It was a beautiful country. I would go back in a heartbeat. But
How long were you in there?
I was in for almost 4.5 years. Almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
4.5 years.
Yeah, almost 5. And then I came home, and now I like being home.
What if they re-enlist you with all the crazy stuff going on right now? They're like, "We need you back, Allison. Get up, get in there."
Sorry, no, bye. Did my time.
Yeah.
I've got my stuff where I can't be re-enlisted.
Oh, really? Well, hey, there you go. I'm too old, so it don't matter to me. I'm an old man.
Age has its benefits.
It does. So then, okay, so you came in on Paranormal Penitentiary.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let's throw a shout out to our fallen, because you said your mother-in-law, who is one of my OGs, Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
and her friend Kiston,
Yes.
singer, was who brought you in, and Kiston has left us, unfortunately. She was one of my zone leaders, I think, Paranormal Penitentiary year and in 2017. So she's zone leaded for 2 years because she came from the Mad Effects Lab with us. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. We pay respects to her, to Josh Hoskins. We've lost a few people, man. It kind of sucks. One of my originals from the day of Mad Effects Lab, Brandy Williams. I want to throw a shout out to her. And yeah, that's it's unfortunate, that we've had to deal with that. But Kiston's was a blow because it was sudden,
Very.
It was very sudden, unfortunately. And Brandy was, we kind of knew what was going on there, And the same with Josh Hoskins. We kind of knew, what was going on there as well. But, hey, they live on here. I honor all of them. They're all in that haunt book. I can't remember who made that haunt book, but we put the info in there down at Midwest. So we honor our fallen here, and that's the one thing I pride myself on. That we welcome everybody. You know what I mean? And you're all part of the family. So it's good having you guys.
It's good to be here.
So George, you started in 2017, the first official year of Blood Prison.
That's right.
So how did you then? Forgive me if I don't remember, but how did you get onto?
I never worked at any haunted house or attraction
No?
before. Nope. I saw the advertisement one night, and I was sitting there having a drink, and I saw it on Facebook advertisement you guys were hiring, and I was like, you know what? When I get up tomorrow, I'm going over there. And I showed up. We had a quick little 2-minute meeting in your office, and that was that.
Wow, yeah. I remember that too.
Well, you asked me if had I worked anywhere else, and I'm like, never.
Yeah.
I just love horror, and I love what I love the building. So
right.
Yep, that's how I got in. Was just getting off my ass and making it happen.
Oh yeah. Fast forward a few years, and you both are zone leaders.
Yep.
So you worked your way up the ranks, and So, George, you became a zone leader in the West Cell Block. Now, refresh my memory. How'd that happen?
I first became a assistant zone leader for
Why are you laughing?
aforementioned Dawn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so she brought me aboard to help her out and manage the team and whatnot, and then she stepped aside and was like, "Here you go," and handed me the reins, I guess, and I've led the West ever since, and solitary as well.
That's a nice way to put it. She stepped aside. Allison became a zone leader in the basement. How long you been zone leading down there? 2 seasons, 3 seasons?
2, 3 now.
3.
Yeah, this will be so 19.
Who was zone leading down there before you? Was that Jason?
Ashley.
Ashley.
Wetzel. She was before that. It was Jason and Josh, but Ashley zone leaded that season.
Really?
The season that I was pregnant.
Oh yeah, the knocked up year.
Yeah, the knocked up year. That I still worked up until the day before I was induced.
Yeah, she was like, "I'm still gonna come to Ink, Vic.
I'm still
coming to Ink. Don't you worry, I'll be there."
Listen, I still worked Ink. I still worked all your events. I still helped run stuff.
Allison, we need you for the season. I'm pregnant.
I still worked up until the day before I was induced. I told your actors if they could scare me into labor, I would buy them a prize, and none of them did it.
No?
No.
Oh. Nerves of steel over here.
No, I wanted them to scare me into labor. I was so done.
So neither one of you have worked at other haunts. So I basically have had both of you guys for your entirety of your haunt career. What has been your favorite part so far, Allison?
My favorite. That's a tough question. I actually do like being a zone leader.
Yeah.
Because I like working as much as sometimes it's a little rough. I like working with a lot of the actors.
Yeah.
I like being able to help develop them. I like being able to help kind of mold them. Like sometimes you get new actors that they're not really sure what they're doing, and sometimes you'll work with them, and then you just see that light bulb. Mm-hmm. You see that spark. And then next thing you know, they're just in their groove, and you see them completely excel, and you just know that you helped them like find that groove, and it's an awesome feeling.
Yeah. Just
to be able to help them get to that and see them grow, like, or even if you see like a new actor that came from nothing, and the next thing you know, they're getting like actor of the season.
Yeah.
And you see that, and they come up and they thank you for advice, and you're just like, okay, maybe I am doing something.
Yeah,
right
I think we've became the unofficial therapist for Blood Prison. If the
really?
actor has a problem, we hear their life stories, we listen, and offer our best advice that we possibly can.
With the side of Jerry Springer.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about it is we never have the same day twice. Never.
Yeah.
No day is the same. It's always something new and different. We always have new problems or issues to figure out and fix. That's a nonstop cycle, and more than we do about it. So, but yeah, it's ever changing.
Putting out fires, man. That's part of running a haunt. Putting out fires. So, what has been your least favorite thing about working at a haunt? Yeah, see, nothing. So you should all work at Hans.
Yeah, do it.
There's
Do
not
it.
a whole lot. I mean, I wish I had more hours in a day, honestly, because obviously even though I work a day job, it's sometimes I can have the longest, hardest day at work, and I still come here and I'm still fired up and ready to go, and I'm still going. And by the end of we can be here till 3:00 in the morning on a Friday night, and even though I worked all day, I'm still going because I got to keep that energy going for my actors.
Well, and that's what I kind of talked about with the Warden's widow when she was in here, because we all know what's going on with each other pretty much, and like that, you've got a full-time job, and you do, because you work all day Friday, then you come in, George works, and it's like you come in and you do your shit, and I've never had any issues with you guys. Andrea had open heart surgery, right? And came, and now she didn't do her full capacity for the Christmas show, but she still came back, and it was kind of like, Christy, she got cancer.
Right.
And she worked all season last year, and it's not like, I was, busting balls saying, look, man, come on, work, you can do it. She was like, no, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm working. So doesn't that drive you crazy when someone like stubs their toe?
Oh.
Or they, they're just like, oh, but.
First of all, shout out to Christy.
Yeah.
We love you, girl.
Yes.
And shout out to Andrea.
She
Full
just
recovery, all that good shit.
Chrissy just had surgery
Yeah.
the other day, and they had to go back in, I think, yesterday and do some more stuff. But yeah, she's definitely in our thoughts right now.
Absolutely.
That's my girl. She's in my she's my basement crew. And
Yeah. She's amazing.
She is amazing.
She's a great actor.
She will climb that railing in the basement and scare the bejeebus out of people. And I was so worried about her, and I had a great team in in her room that would take care of her, and they were constantly helping me, because obviously I can't be everywhere at once, watch her.
Sure.
But yeah, she was killing it, and I had people that were every 5 minutes, I can't breathe, I can't do this, and I'm like, but I got her over here that's going through these chemo treatments, and she's been to the bathroom once.
Yeah,
Please
but to go back, what you were saying was we're not all built the same. Some of us are
Yeah.
loyalty and dedication levels are
for sure.
performance levels, physical ability. We're all on different stages there.
Someone told me once that I was showing favoritism. I show favoritism. I'm like, look, here's the thing. I don't show favoritism. It's like, I'm not going to sit there and look at an actor and be like, look, I like you better than him, so I'm going to let him do whatever he wants, and you have to be stuck in the drop window. That's not what I do. I don't do that, okay? But on that same token, so if a first-year actor comes to me and wants to do something, and say one of you come to me and want to do it, you're going to get the nod. You've been here longer. It's loyalty. You know what I mean? It's just that's what it is more than anything. It's like, I'm not favoring them. They've been here for this many years. That's just how it is. So I don't know how everybody else does it, but that's kind of how I run things. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, of course I'm going to let you guys do this stuff. You've been here for a minute. They've been here for 2 seconds,
Yeah, and you have to take care of the people that take care of you. That's
Exactly
how the machine works.
You got to prove you can do it first. You got to prove that you're going to show up, and if you're going to have a high-level role, you got to prove that you're going to show up and be able to continuously do it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, that's just what people don't understand is that it isn't just, it's not all fun and games. And that's what I tell everybody is you got to understand when you come in here, we're not a home haunt that's run out of a garage or even just a haunted, little hayride. I mean, nothing against the haunted hayrides or anything. I'm just saying, these are long nights and it's work. And, that's why we feed you guys every night and make sure, you get breaks and water and snacks because it's a long night. It's very long,
It is. You almost have to be a football player to make it through a night, or if you don't know how to pace yourself, you're going to burn out real fucking fast.
Yeah, that is true. And it's like you said, that some people are just built different. So some of them just come in and it's like, you're a machine, Mitchie.
Oh, I love that girl. That's
Mitchie.
Love you, Mitchie.
Oh my gosh.
Another one of my basement girls.
She is technically she's down the hall from the studio. She's not in the basement.
That is technically a basement zone.
She's amazing though, because she's nonstop. Mm-hmm. She doesn't stop moving. And it's just like, if you go down into the mini bullpen where the break room is, and then there's the kitchen area right there, we'll sit there in the kitchen and I'll talk with Weave and Lana and just we sitting there bullshitting with him, and all you hear is just her just running that pipe across the bars and just screaming, and it's just like, what is going on?
She's my one if I'm running low on energy and
Yeah.
I need to go, if I need to bounce off someone to like perk myself back up and get myself running, I will go up there and I will act in the hallway there with her, and we'll just get a bunch of really good scares and get my adrenaline running, and then and it'll get me going again.
Oh yeah.
That's where I'll go. And don't take her out of that cage. That is her her zone.
The funny thing about that is she started up in the house in the kitchen.
Don't put her in a dress.
And she was, I mean, she did good, but she just wasn't her, she couldn't find her groove doing that, you know what I mean? And she was like really distraught over it. She was just like, oh man, I don't know. I'm really trying, but I don't know. This don't work,
She's a badass.
And you put her in that cage and she was just like, it was like, there she is. And she, she made it. She made it what it was. And now it's her cage, and I don't think she ever wants to leave it.
Mm-mm.
I think she's still up there right now.
Yeah, she is. She's in there. She wants to show up, just like she'll show up on a Tuesday and be like, I'm gonna go ahead and go down. All right, Mitchie, go ahead. Got tours going on, little kids running out here screaming. It's like, what are you doing? No, she's great. She's one that can definitely hack it, and she was actually on the build crew this year. It was funny because she goes, I want to help build it, and I'm just like, Mitchie, you realize that this is, Mitchie's like, tiny. I go, this is like unloading semi-trailers. And she's like, I know. It's good. I'm cool. And then I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, well, maybe if anything, I'll have her hang out with Jen and help Jen upstairs or help Brian out, with maybe some of the decorating. And Mike, Tom, who's the main builder, he comes up and he goes, Mitchie's the best person I got. She's better than all these other guys out there you brought in. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. So Mitchie's like hardcore.
Yeah, Mitchie is an NFL Hall of Famer. You got to look out for her.
Mitchie coaches football.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Another really cool thing about Mitchie and Mitchie's wife. So we had her at a stoplight one time, and all I heard was a whistle. And Elizabeth turned to me and looks at me, and she goes, go get Mitchie now. And I'm like, what just happened? And there was just a whistle that Mitchie sent to Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah.
And it was an unseen communication between the two, and it was because something happened with Mitchie with a customer.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it was so loud, and I was like, you just caught that between the two of you?
Yeah, they had that little
and I was
little
like,
thing set up there.
Like, that was the coolest thing. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like, they were just an unspoken whistle between the two, and that was gone.
Yeah, yeah. Now Mitchie's the shit. I'm so happy she's on the team for sure. Yeah. So you guys had to have you can see, got a love for Halloween all over Allison's arms there with all the Beetlejuice and.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, so you guys got a love for Halloween and horror movies. Favorite horror movie, George?
Favorite, Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah,
George
that's
Romero,
that's probably one of the first that got me into the whole zombie shit.
Those zombie movies back then were just so raw and just gross.
Yes.
That's what I love about the old school. We were talking about this one other time was where it's it just seems more real than today. You know what I mean? Where, today's mostly so over the top CG, but back then it almost seemed real.
Yeah.
Which is what made it scary.
Less is more, the practical effects that they use instead of all the CGI and everything.
Yeah.
Just, to me, that was more organic, and it felt, like you said, it felt more real.
Allison, favorite horror movie can't be Beetlejuice.
It's not. See,
it's not really a horror movie.
I'm a little on the younger side. Mine's either 13 Ghosts or House on Haunted Hill. Those are
That's not bad.
But those are the two that my dad got me into. He's the one the core that got me into all my horror and all my scary stuff.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever watched House on Haunted Hill, I watched it with my ears plugged because I was terrified and I couldn't listen to it.
That's funny.
But I did, because he was asleep on the couch behind me, and I was probably 10. Mm-hmm. And I watched it. I couldn't listen to it, and the next thing you know, but yes, actually here soon I should be starting a leg sleeve, actually, with all the 13 Ghosts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like 13's Ghost. I watched that.
But I'm going to be working with our Bat Seal for it, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We're
going to do some ink on you?
Yeah, we're doing 13 Ghosts all the way up my leg with
nice.
With the designs from the walls and stuff. And
isn't that great? Our head makeup artist, Matt, is also a tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. and he's inked all of us. You know what I mean? Probably more. Yeah. And even Jen. Jen, you want to show us your tattoo?
Come on, Jen, show us.
We have our matching
let's
ones.
see it.
Yeah, Jen, let's see the tattoo.
I was told this was a barrel interview, and barrel.
We do have.
Well, at least some.
We do have matching ones.
Yeah.
The zone leaders.
Yeah, the skulls.
George, show yours.
Where is mine?
Where is it? What do you mean?
Where is it? No, it's up here. Sorry. I forgot. Like, I got,
Yeah,
I mean, you want to zoom
Jen's
into
is-
that? But then Matt's done this. So, yeah, Matt's badass.
Hear no
Shout out to my
evil.
brother Matt there.
Hear no evil, see no evil. When you can't see Jen's, but hers is speak no evil because he's deaf, I'm blind, and
Only on one
Jen's
side.
quiet.
Yeah. Jen's quiet? Well, she is right now.
See,
Yeah.
but I'm blind as fuck. George is deaf as fuck, and
Yeah.
Deaf as hell. What?
So we have kind of wanted to run through a couple, and maybe some of them are kind of recent, like a couple photos. Sarah, can you? Okay, so we got this one photo up of Allison. This is actually this year we did this photo shoot with Abe from Blindside. Whoa, what do we got there? Whoa, they're gone. But we did a photo shoot
it's
with.
a really good photo of me.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, there it's back. With Abe from Blind 7, he does all of our video production and photos. We did this thing with Fearworm where they wanted to do it was almost like a lineup, and you hold your sign up or whatever, and then we did a post where it was like, who scared you? We did you, George. We did one on you and Allison, Andrea, and Zach.
Ronnie.
Did,
Jen.
Did we have Ron? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, and Jen. So when you, oh never mind. But that's kind of a more recent photo, and I just kind of wanted to go through some of the photos that we had over the years and see what we got. Sarah, let's see another one. Let's see the next photo here. So that's George. I think that's your first year, isn't it?
That's my first year.
Wearing a latex appliance.
Yes, that's a full face latex appliance that was done by Josh Campbell. Shout out to Josh.
Yeah.
This, I guess, was an idea that Vic and Josh had put together for the prosthetic of the full face of the clown, and I was their clay to mold. That was my first haunt character ever, right there.
Yeah, and it was good, and you wore that because it was yours for the season.
Mm-hmm. I still have it.
You still have that.
I
Nice.
do. It's in great shape.
We'll have to do a throwback one day.
I'm
Of
down.
course, you're not in the clown area, so your area's all apocalyptic and solitary. But that was like really cool. Josh did a great job on that. Looked great. Were you in the zombie mosh pit for that? Yeah. I loved it. I loved the hair. He was telling me about it, and I was like, yeah, dude, that's gonna be killer. I can't remember where we got that prosthetic from. I think it was Screamline is where that came from, if I remember right, but I'm not 100% sure. What's the next picture here, Sarah? Oh, look at that guy. Who's that?
Oh, shit.
That's George
on
snap. Stage. That's right.
Oh, snap.
So most people, if you don't know George, he also is a performer.
Mm-hmm.
He does the hip hop stuff. And you did a song with the guy that's going to be on Ink this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
Yep. Shout out to Bubba.
Yeah. So that's interesting. How does that happen, George? You going to lay some rhymes for us right now? Let's go. Let's hear it.
Well, I'm on iTunes and Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can buy music, I'm there.
And it's Snap, yes?
Yes. SNAP, Snap.
I got to pay George. He's like, you got to pay me. I'm an artist.
That's right. Royalties, baby. Now, this photo was taken in Mansfield, actually, at the electric company during a benefit show for, I don't know.
I think I was there.
I think you were too. And Josh Hoskins was there.
Yes, he
Nice.
There was a tragedy that happened here in Mansfield, and a little girl lost her life in a house fire.
Okay.
And this photo was taken from that benefit show to raise money for that family.
Nice. Very good. Sarah, let's see the next one.
Yeah.
Now see, there's another recent one. This is the whole crew. These are all my zone leaders. Minus, you guys, each of you guys have an assistant, to help you guys out with breaks and everything. But these are my main zone leaders. That's George up there in the top. And, of course, Jen there on the left in the doll makeup. We got Megan holding as the elf holding the clown head. And, of course, Allison there on the right. Megan is the zone leader in the clown area and in the east cell block. Unfortunately, I don't have 4 microphones. I only got 3, so I had to bring you guys on. But I think we'll get Megan on here at some point. I got an idea that would be fun for Megan. But that's our zone leaders right now. So you will see those guys. That's our Christmas event. The very first time we did a Christmas show, that was the makeup for that. Jen's wearing a different dress there, and the makeups are all just a little more festive. Do you guys like the Christmas incarceration?
It was fun.
I did. I loved it.
Yeah, that was pretty killer. Pretty killer. Is there another picture, Sarah?
No, I think that's all I have.
Okay, yeah, that's all right.
I was about to get scared. I was really scared you were going to bring out some paranormal pen pictures.
I couldn't find any. Yes! You know what I mean?
You should have left me to that. I would have got them.
That was scary.
But that's good stuff. Yeah. So I mean, I love the Christmas show. I'm so excited to do that again. But that was a good time for sure. For sure. Bring back some memories. Looking at that clown mask.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. I've kept in good shape.
So one thing, we're not going to do another shakedown until after Transworld, which is coming up here very soon. And you guys are going to Transworld for the first time. Taking you two, Jen and Megan are all going to go. First time ever been there. You guys looking forward to that?
Mm-hmm.
Very much. Very excited. Out of St. Louis, here we come.
Well, I got to tell you, save your money. Not because everything's super expensive, but you're going to want to buy everything you see because it's amazing. I mean, that place. You guys went to New Orleans for HauntCon, and I don't think you were the first time I went, you weren't there. It was me and Jen and George and Dan all went down to HauntCon the first time, and that was a lot of fun in New Orleans. If there's anything you can say about New Orleans, is that it is a very fun city.
Mardi Gras. It's Fat Tuesday.
It is, yeah.
It is Fat Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you going to do? I wouldn't want to be down there during Mardi Gras. Like, when we were there, that was bad enough. Like, just walking down Bourbon Street, and it's just like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And then I actually went a year before, and then the year after, we all went. I had a death in the family. I couldn't go. So you guys went down, and I rented you guys a luxurious palace. I know Allison was loving it.
It was amazing.
So amazing.
Wish you all could have been there.
Very nice pool.
Very nice pool. Yeah, we had a pool. We had
3 bathrooms.
3 bathrooms. It was loaded. It was loaded.
Hooked you up.
Couldn't have asked for anything better.
No, I didn't think so. I wish I could have been there. I was there. You guys showed me the.
We had Voodoo Vic.
We had Voodoo Vic.
Oh,
that's
we did
right.
have Voodoo Vic.
We had you there in spirit.
We did. We bought a little doll at the dollar store and put a mustache on it.
Well, I don't have a mustache though. So, hey, whatever.
You
It's
did
all
then.
good. Yeah. So, HauntCon, you guys went down there. Now it's going to be way different. Transworld is way bigger, way more vendors, and I got you guys signed up to do some courses, which is really cool. To go and get to do that kind of stuff and see some of the, real, pioneers of the industry talk to you and give you guys advice and tips, and it's gonna be fun. I think you guys are gonna have a good time doing it.
I saw one of them. I think Katie's teaching, so that's pretty cool.
She is, yes.
Yeah, shout out to
Absolutely.
Katie Lane.
Yeah.
She was on the show, and she's gonna be there doing stuff, and she's there every year. Katie is like one of those people. Me and Brian were talking about that. It's like if you see her on Instagram, it's like, dude, she's like in Illinois today, and then tomorrow she's
all over the place.
She's everywhere, so she's got some valuable information that I'm sure you guys will definitely dig on for sure. What are you looking forward to most about going to Transworld?
One of the things I'm looking forward the most would be, like you said, the seminars and the classes that we get to sit in.
Yeah,
and pick the brains of the people that have been doing this and the pioneers, and they've been around the block and they've seen it and done it, and they can shed a little light and help us learn and hone and our craft a little better.
Oh yeah. Allison?
We took a lot away from the last classes we took when we were down in New Orleans, so it's going to be cool to take more away. Away from these ones.
See a little different perspective on how to, because everybody does it different, and it's never, I remember like I was telling somebody, it's like it was great to see you guys, institute what you learned, and like George, I saw it, and I was like, I remember you did that in New Orleans, and you were like, yeah, it's, just some of the things that you can say to people, and how they're going to react to it, just to get the reactions, because it's not always about standing behind a wall and just jumping out and getting a jump scare. They teach you those those little tricks of just whispering in their ear. And
Yeah, no, I mean, like here at Blood Prison, we have full horror movie sets.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a little room that was thrown together.
Right.
These are full, production, ready to film a horror movie in this shit.
Hell yeah.
So, that's how you have to approach it. Is you're not resetting to do a jump scare or something like that. You're living in this scene that has been created for you. Mm-hmm. So you just have to soak in the environment and become a part of it as you are in a horror movie doing it. So I think that if that's one of the things that helped me out, is to look at it from that way.
For sure.
You're not just waiting for the next group and you're scaring the hell out of, everyone.
Well, that was always kind of the plan going in, was to create different scenes. I mean, I know most people are going to be like, yeah, you want a horror movie scene. But like when I first started it, that was always like when I came in the year of Paranormal Penitentiary, and it was not so much like that first year.
We've come so far.
Oh yeah. But
so far.
To build up to that point was, that was just kind of the launching pad for it. But that was always the plan, was to be like, all right, we got to make sure that this is a movie set. Because that's the way the old haunt was. It was like in a way smaller building. But it was like, all right, this is a movie set in a mad lab, or this is Granny's house in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the clown. I mean, it was just these crazy movie set ideas. Plus, I worked with a movie guy, so that helped. You know what I mean? But it was just those thoughts and those plans of, you want to immerse everyone in. That's why when you guys tell the actors, it's like, dude, get your scare and then, move on to the next group. You don't want to, you want the people to enjoy it and have that immersion. It's a fantasy to them. That's why there's things that I hate. Like when you said it's ready to shoot a horror movie right here, it's ready to go. It is, minus the exit signs. If we could get rid of those, I would be a lot happier. Not that I don't want it to be safe, but
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the fire marshal
would
like that.
We went through that already.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was a rough weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
I was here for that too.
Yeah.
It was a very long weekend.
Yeah. But those are just the hoops you got to jump through, and the growing pains of putting in a fire suppression system in a stone and concrete building.
But everybody loves a good comeback story, and that was us.
Oh man, I've had that pretty much every year. There's been something almost every year that I've had to deal with where I'm just like,
we keep coming back better than ever. So
yeah, absolutely. That's the idea, man. Come back strong every time. George, so along with doing the rapping or the hip hop, I don't know if I'm sounding old by saying he's a rapper. This is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. He's the rapper. I'm the DJ.
Check. No, I'm a recording artist.
Yeah.
Songwriter,
do all that good stuff.
All of it. I got some metal songs too. So
yeah.
Oh, don't forget, he's a photographer.
Oh, and a photographer. And
Hey,
I wear so many hats, man. That's why I'm bald.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
This is the longest my hair's been, like, in a while. Someone said that, Dan here at the Reformatory said, it's what it is your hair's longer. And I said, well, my daughter's in, she's in school for makeup and hair right now, currently. So she was like, well, let me shave your head. I go, why? And she was just like, well, I'll get a grade for it. I like everything I do, she goes, so grow it out. This is 2 weeks. This is it right here. 2 weeks of hair.
Damn.
And that's it.
That looks like me after 6 months of trying.
Yeah, right? So we'll see. Tomorrow it's going to be gone. So the next time we're on here, I'll be bald again. Not that I'm not bald. You can see it's crawling back.
That's okay. She'll have that A.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I told her, I was like, well, if that's all you're going to do. And then somebody said something about straight razor. I was like, no. I said, if I do that, I'm gonna have someone do it that's done it a million times.
I tried to hire her for my wedding, but she was on vacation that weekend.
We're gonna be gone.
You're gonna be gone too?
I am, yes.
Well, then I guess I'm not giving you an invitation.
I'm sorry. I really want to be there. And you know what else? That is also the weekend of Midwest.
Oh.
And I was trying to get together. I was gonna send everybody to Midwest. That sucks.
Well,
but you're getting married. What the hell?
And I've also, two of your zone leaders are my maid of honor and bridesmaid.
See?
And your other zone leader is my button pusher for my music.
Well, so here we go. So let's break this down again, Allison.
So I knocked out your entire zone leader team for my wedding.
Yeah.
Whoops.
1 year at the haunt, you are knocked up, and now I'm like, you know what? We're all gonna go to Chicago, go to the Midwest, and she's like, not so fast. I'm getting married. And I'm
It's the same weekend the new Jurassic Park movie comes out. My entire wedding's Jurassic Park themed, so sorry.
You're going to have dinosaurs running all over.
We are having a friend show up in a Jurassic Park costume.
And I'm not going to be there to see it. That sucks.
Well, my mother-in-law is one of your actors too, so sorry.
Is she going to be in the wedding?
She's going to be there because, her son is my, fiance.
Oh, well, that's true.
Oh, and her other son, your other actor
Darian,
is my brother-in-law.
That's awesome. I love Darian. I would love to have him as my brother-in-law.
And Darian is also the best man, so...
There you go.
Come on, you really didn't make him the flower girl?
No. My almost entire wedding party is your haunt actors.
That's awesome. You know what, though? You should make Darian wear his granny makeup and...
No, he's...
Just interrupting the guy doing the officiating, be like, oh, you're making me moister than an oyster. His favorite line. Yeah, come on.
No.
Let him have
Granny's
some fun.
retired, remember?
I know, it's sad. I know he wants to move on and do something else.
He does. I think he's going to do really well in another role.
Darian's great, man. He will knock any part out of the park.
He wants to do not a Russian, but he wants to do a German doctor.
Yeah, the Russian thing, that might not be a good thing to do right now.
Not at all.
That's why he's going to do it.
Yeah. No, Darian is cool, man. Darian is like, he's gotten, I think almost every year he gets an award for something. One of the reviewers will go through and be like, the guy that was dressed up like an old lady.
He's very on the spot. Like he can just come up with stuff. Like,
very good at improv.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he knows how to react to people, and he stays in character. Because like I go through a haunt, and I like our haunt, and I try, and I'll be like, I'll go in through the house, be like, hey, and they'll do their thing, and I'll be like, oh yeah, good one. Where's Jen? And they'll just sit there and look at me, and then the bad ones, they'll sit there. Oh, she's over there. And I'm just like, really?
And you know who you are.
He does it to us too. Like we'll come. Like what was it? The Christmas haunt we came through. He goes, "Oh, you're out of your zone."
Yeah.
And
where are you guys? What are you guys doing up here?
Well, we did our walkthrough.
Oh, here we go with the walkthrough.
Do you want us to judge your actors and make improvements or not?
Don't you judge me. That's why everyone asks me, why haven't you acted? Some people are blown away that I've never acted in a haunt before. How are you doing what you do with never acting in a haunt? I was like, well, because...
We've seen you scream at jump scares. We don't need you acting.
Well, no, you've never seen that. But here's the thing. If I was to do it, that didn't happen. So don't start with a mirror story, okay? Because, there's no proof.
Tell the mirror story.
I'm going to tell the mirror story.
You know what? Here's the thing about the mirrors.
You screamed at yourself.
No.
Yes, you did.
There was somebody, like, off to the left in the mirror.
We were at Factory of Terror, and we were going through, and it was like their mirror maze, and the lights went off, and you were face to face with yourself, and the lights came on, and you screamed at yourself.
Okay. So let's do something, okay? Here's what I'm going to do. We're in a completely closed room. The only lights in here is this one right here. I'll have Jen shut the light off. It'll be pitch black in here. And then when the light comes on, you're going to have this right in your face. And you tell me if you ain't going to scream.
But you see yourself every day.
Doesn't matter. I got PTSD of myself. You know what, though? That was fun, though. We had a lot of good... That was a good time. That was a good night.
It was a very good night.
Even though I think you guys kind of misinterpreted my scream. But the main... Here's what I'm getting at. Let me get back to what I'm trying to tell you, okay? This isn't about me. But if I... Oh, I mean, it is about me. If I was to act in a haunt right now, I'd show you guys up. And it would be over. And then it would just be like, oh, well. Because, this is how it works. Yeah. I stood up in the tree last year. We got that big tree scene in the back of the house, right? And I stood up there, no makeup on, no nothing. I climbed into the tree, and I just, waited for people to walk by, and I reached out. And that's all I did. Had people pissing their pants.
Yeah, I was one of those people that you grabbed.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that actually got me because I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I
just
believe you.
Just my arm, dude. It was my arm.
That's what she said.
So you're teaching new actors to grab people without touch passes?
No. You guys, it doesn't matter.
I think I have one.
I don't have touch passes either when I walk through. I get the shit kicked out of me.
It's because they know you.
So, there we go. I don't want to hear none of the bullshit.
Because you ask for it. You like to be touched.
That's beside the point. Touch passes. There's something we haven't talked about. You guys like them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I missed them.
I think everybody that is an actor loves touch passes.
It's like free therapy.
Yeah. The problem is some of the actors, we won't say who, get a little bit overboard. I think they go a little overboard. What do you think?
Well, I've seen Jen climb up people and run down their back like a spider monkey, and she just runs circles around them like a chihuahua or something.
I walked out of the house one time going down to Solitary with Jen like on my ankle. And I'm sitting there like walking down. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Get off me.
Yeah, and as soon as you kick and you think she's gone, she's around the next corner.
That's pretty much what happened. And then we were up there and we had Kylie and Kenzie were up there, and I was like, why does Jen keep doing that? And they said, Vic, it's just better if you just let her finish. I was like, jeez, what is going on here?
Mike Tom, we need a mop.
That happened once.
And then she trains off her actors up there to do the same thing. I had that Gage dude just like, I'm like, get off me. It was bad.
He comes from above.
Yeah. He'll come from under that table. Or he'll on top of the table. You don't want to get that dude latched onto your face. You don't want that at all.
He's come very far too.
Gage is awesome.
I forgot him in the bug his first year on accident. Yeah. I forgot him in the basement. We were done for the night. And I went through and
nice zone leading.
That was my very first year. He never lets me live it down, but it's a very good joke. I accidentally forgot him in the basement. And because I went through and I forgot that he was in the bug. Because no one's ever in the bug. You got scared by someone in the bug too.
Who?
During the Christmas haunt.
Who was that in there?
Madison.
That was funny. Because we didn't know she was going to be in there. Because the bug's usually empty. Like we pull, that's the first place. Just don't run the bug.
They got you?
Well, not really.
She was showing.
Not really.
He was showing security where to like hide, and he opened the door and didn't know Madison was in there. So it was Mom, Dawn, that was in there. She screamed, Vic screamed, and Madison, who was in the bug, all screamed.
Madison is.
Oh, you guys are terrible.
You can scare Madison as easy as you can scare a guest. It's so funny with her, but we opened the door. We just opened it, and we were like, "Whoa!"
Chain
like that.
reaction.
She looked at us like, "What are you?" And I'm just like, I didn't know there was anybody in here. And she's sitting there just like, I'm trying to run the... Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Damn.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
But I did.
That was funny.
I did. I forgot him in the basement. And he went out the side door and was roaming around the parking lot and had to text his aunt that he was in the parking lot. And that was my first year as a zone leader. Now I have a checklist. I go through and make sure I check every single spot.
George, did you ever leave somebody in their zone?
Never. Never.
Listen,
not one time.
The cell block's open. The basement's got a lot of hidey places.
Sounds like
still not following.
Yeah, I don't know.
I learned from my mistake. It doesn't happen anymore. Now I make sure I make like eye contact with every person that I have in the basement. I'm like, hey, you're good to go.
I was thinking somebody got locked in the house one time too. Not locked in, like went back in to get something and nobody knew, and then Mike went and locked the house up. Maybe a few years ago. Maybe it was Jen. No?
I think maybe it was Darian. Because I thought Darian said something about it.
It might have been.
I'll have to ask him. He's at home. He's at my house doing his laundry right now, so I'll ask him when I get home.
Oh, Darian. You got to tell him that we talked about him on... I've actually talked about Darian a few times.
I will.
On here on the Shakedown, but it was... Darian's been... God, no, he was a paranormal penitentiary guy too.
He worked at the Mad Effects Lab too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Not that... Did he, Jen? I don't think so.
From what I remember.
He did, yeah, but he did... I don't think he worked only a few nights, maybe.
Yeah, he didn't do a lot, but I remember him work because...
Dawn told me that he was trying to do something, and Scene would tell him what he had to do, but his drawers kept falling down, so he couldn't do... He couldn't do what his Scene wanted him to do because his pants kept falling down.
She tried to get me to come out and work at the Mad Effects Lab, but at the time I was going to school and working, so I didn't have time.
Right.
And then I was finally done. I was almost done with school. The first year that I worked for Paranormal Pen, I was working a full-time job, going to school 3 days a week, so I could only work, I think, Saturdays and Sundays my first year. And working here, and then the next year I came back full-time.
That's always the trick on everything. Like, think about the Mad Effects Lab, I got Jen, I got Zach, Dawn. I think that's it. Oh, Chris Wilson. He worked last year too. 4 people from that time area. And if you look at it, like even the Paranormal Penitentiary, which was 2016, I got you, Darian, Dawn, Jen. Who else? Zach. Yeah, Zach.
Was Ronnie?
Yeah. Ronnie was at, that was his first year too. Because I remember we put him in a Michael Myers mask and sent him into the dark maze, which I normally would never do, you know.
Trying to think.
But it's just the turnover.
Well,
and
Liz is back. Liz was with Paranormal Pen. She's back.
Yeah, Liz worked last year and she worked Paranormal Pen. Yeah. But it's just and that year we had a lot of people.
We did.
You know, and it's like, you know, a lot of them are just gone or, you know, they don't work anymore. That's the hardest thing about doing this is trying to keep people, you know. Not everybody's like you guys, you know. Wow.
I waited until you stopped.
Didn't I send you a
Yeah, no, just everyone's not built the same. They're not wired the same. What?
I sent you a TikTok about that, didn't I? About opening a can while we were recording?
No.
Yes, I did.
George knows. He's a recording artist.
Thank you. That's why I waited until he paused.
You gonna remix that and add it to a song?
Oh, I can sample it, I'm sure.
Didn't you get, you were telling me one time you got Tommy Chong. Did
Yes.
you do a thing with him? What was that about?
Yeah, I got Tommy Chong to do an intro to one of my songs.
That is awesome.
It's about marijuana. It's so no, I had an idea one night, and then the next day I sent him an email and reached out and was like, "Here's my idea. Would you be willing to do it?" And we made it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the song is called Terror Dome.
Yes.
It's on Spotify, Apple Music,
Oh, here we
everywhere.
go.
You know.
Yeah.
Plug.
That's not your best one.
What's
That's
that?
not your best intro, though, that you got.
Wow. Just tearing down Tommy Chong here
Oh,
on the
no.
Shakedown. We
Right.
love it.
Who's
We
You ever
love
talk
you, Tommy.
about the godfather of weed like that?
Who's your other one that you got?
The Bill Mosey?
Yeah, Bill.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And what's funny is
Bill Mosley.
Yeah,
Otis.
I'm getting ready to go meet up with him here in a couple months.
No kidding. Where?
Yeah, he's going to be here in Ohio. So we're going to meet up and, shoot shit a little bit.
He's a super nice guy. I met him one time. I think he was on either a movie here, because I think he shot a movie here at the Reformatory.
Mm-hmm.
Or he was at Cinema Wasteland. It was one or the other. I can't remember, which was a convention up in Akron. I think the Akron area.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also in the Devil's Rejects, of course, which I have a giant poster in my office of the Devil's Rejects with him. He came, so he knew Robert Kurtzman, who I worked for, and somehow they connected. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but Bob got him to come to the shop in Crestline and like hang out with us for a few hours. So he came down and like I said, I don't know if he was doing the movie here or if he was doing the Cinema Wasteland thing, but he came in and I had this big poster and he signed it for me because I was just like, I'm like, as far as like new horror goes, like he's one of my favorite characters.
Yes.
And he signed "No Ice Cream in Your Fucking Future," like from that movie, the Devil's
Tutti fucking fruity.
Tutti fucking fruity. Yeah. Super nice guy though. He was really cool. Got a picture with him and everything.
Yeah, how that came about was like I had just watched 3 from Hell. The night I'd watched for the first time, watched 3 from Hell. And at the end of that movie, they're just driving off into the sunset.
Yeah. They leave it open for another one.
Right. So
Yeah.
I got to thinking and I'm like, where are they heading? I'm going to continue and add my own little piece. Where are they heading? They're coming here to Mansfield.
Oh,
Motherfuckers
geez.
calling me. That's exactly how that happened.
Really?
I was like, I'm going to continue this little story for myself. And, I wrote up the intro and hit him up and was like, here's my idea. And he was like, absolutely. The next day, he hit me back and was like, I'm on my way back from a Comic-Con or whatever. He was doing signings. And he stopped in the middle of the fucking desert, got out of his car, recorded it,
Yeah.
and sent it right over to me. Just like
awesome.
that. So, yeah, that's how that happened. All because I watched the end of 3 from Hell and was like, how you can't just leave it like that. Where are they going?
Right.
So I was like, they're coming to see me.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So where are you gonna meet at? Well, I mean not where, but like how did you get that?
He's going to be here in Ohio doing a signing, a meet and greet
gotcha.
session. So, yeah.
Is that where you're going then to meet up with him?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's super cool. That's gonna be cool. I got him, and then Rob Zombie was here last year for Ink, but I could not make that happen, unfortunately. I wanted to get Rob Zombie to sign my poster, of course we won't get Sid, because he's passed on. But yeah, that would have been cool, man. I hope that works out. So then, how did you? George has got all these connections. Then you did a song with Jelly Roll, who's going to be on the Incarceration lineup,
right?
So how did that happen?
I first met Jelly Roll a long time ago, dude. We were like teenagers, in our 20s and shit. So, long before any of us had a bunch of tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
Met him at a music festival, and we ended up hanging out and meeting up and keeping in touch ever since then. But when I got serious about music and shit, got into it, and I hit him up and was like, "Hey, let's do a song." And we did that song called "Contemplating Suicide," available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and plug.
So you're gonna get a whole 5 more people listening to that now.
Good. Welcome, all of you, 5.
That's good stuff. That's cool though. But people will do that because most people would never think that Tommy Chong or Bill Mosley's just gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" You know what I mean? But
for anybody that's thinking about doing something like that and they're scared to do it, reach out. What's the worst they're gonna say? No.
Exactly.
And then what? You're still at the same spot before you started. So if in the event they do say yeah, you make shit happen.
Because at the end of the day, they're just people that are doing what they love. So you got a legit shot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At making something happen like that. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah,
half of it's in the approach. How you approach someone. You be respectful, professional, and that'll usually take care of it.
Yeah.
You hit somebody. Hey brother, can I? Hey homie, I gotta.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna get you anywhere. It's all business, and everything costs money. Don't let anybody lie to you. It all costs money. I don't care what it is.
Well, that's the thing is that they're in that. That's what they do. That is their business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that is what it is,
Yep.
You got to pay them. Even you guys. Mm-hmm. Got to pay you.
Yeah. If you're good at it, make money at it.
For nothing.
That's the only reason we work for you, right?
I often wonder.
There's been plenty of times we have been here for free. I don't want to hear it.
Well, that is true. But, even like Inc., when we do the volunteer thing for Inc., it's like you do get to come to Inc. for free. You know what I mean? And you also got to meet somebody last year at Inc. Who was that?
The first 3 years
Who was that?
New Year's Day.
Okay, now
don't... You didn't even know I liked them, though.
You know what? That part doesn't matter. What matters is...
He didn't know. He did not know.
It doesn't matter.
I thought you were this is the story. So we're standing out back, and Vic comes up, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to meet New Year's Day?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking with me right now?" Because earlier that day, I was like, the only band I was bummed to see, I was missing, was New Year's Day, which, mind you, I'd already seen him twice. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. I've already seen him twice. So we're standing out back. He's like, "Do you want to meet New Year's Day?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking with me right now?" So Vic leads me into solitary, and I'm like, you're fucking with me? Because he's leading me into solitary by myself, and I'm like, okay. But mind you, he's flipping the lights on for the house. I walk back out into the bullpen, and Ash Costello is standing up on the steps, and I'm just like,
yeah,
okay, you weren't fucking with me, but yes.
Well, I didn't know really.
She was a complete sweetheart.
She was great, yeah. Her and what was the other guy's name?
It was I can't remember what her husband's name is, but that was her husband.
They were great. They were really nice people, and they just wanted to see.
They're very big into horror and everything.
Yeah, they wanted to go through, but they couldn't get out, and it wouldn't coincide right when we were open. They wanted to go through, but they just wanted to see. They wanted to see it.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And Rye actually hooked that up. I don't know. I can't remember how she hooked that up, but somebody they just, hey, we want to check out the haunted house, and Rye was like, we can make that happen. And she called me, and I just kind of on a whim because I saw you was like, hey, you heard this band New Year's Day? You want to check them out? And you were just like, oh my god! And then
I was shaking.
Yeah.
Just because
she got starstruck.
When I go to the gym, that was who I run. That was one of the bands that I run to.
Yeah.
It was always them because their band's very high energy, rock, and I was like, heck yes.
You ever seen? This is an old school. Allison probably won't remember it, but you ever watch the old Saturday Night Live when Chris Farley was like, hey. Did you ever?
I was able to talk.
Remember that time when that song came out? That was awesome. That was her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was just like, I so want to party with you.
No. Not that awkward. Jeez.
No, it was actually they were really cool people, and Allison. I mean, the first time I met someone famous, I was the same way, dude. I was just like, but then you kind of realize it's just another guy. They're just another dude, man. It's just it's not that big a deal, but then you kind of try to got to be cool. Try to act cool like it's no big deal, but inside you're just like, damn, dude. It's like I used to listen to your music all the time and got me through some shit, and
Yeah, I say that till I get home.
Yeah.
Then I'll geek out in my own house.
Yeah.
I really made that shit happen. That really just happened, you know.
That's awesome.
But, you know, in the moment, you have to be cool.
Yeah, you have to. You don't want to come off like a fanboy.
Right.
Even though you are, you know.
Yep.
I've been a lot at Warped over the years, like a lot of bands at Warped Tour over the years. So she's just one that I had never met, and I was just like, "Is this really happening right now?"
Yeah.
Just because you had led me into solitary by myself, I really thought you were just.
I had to turn the house lights back on.
Well, that you could have led with that. You were just leading me by myself into solitary.
I'm leading Alice into the hole.
I didn't know where we were going.
Yeah. No, they were super cool. That's the one cool thing about
She
Hank.
was very sweet.
Yeah. They were fun, and that's like always like trying to get people to come through. It's like, of course we want the guests to come through, but like last year, it's like everyone's just like, "Are you gonna try to get Rob Zombie to come through?" I'd be like, "Well, I mean, if he wants to come through, I would definitely let him. But you know, why would you think? Well, he's a big horror guy." I'm like, dude, Rob Zombie has seen everything under the sun. It's not a big deal to him. But John 5 did come in. I couldn't get him to come into the haunt, but he wanted to see the building. But I've never gotten anyone. Well, other than the one year we had, it wasn't Ink. It was oh God, this is horrible. I can't think of his name. Tom Holland.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I killed him that year.
That was so much fun.
Yes.
Not because of Tom Holland's come through the haunt, but it was because he had never been to a haunt before. So we were like the first haunt he'd ever been to. He's from England. They don't have that kind of stuff over there. So he comes here, and the dude, it's so funny though, because he's the size of Jen. He's tiny. I mean, he's just this little guy. He might be a little bit taller. And but he's a small dude. And
we were there.
He was legit scared. Like, seriously, he was just like, okay, so what's going to happen when and he's got the British accent and everything. We're like, it's all good, man. Don't worry. It's a show. It's entertainment, just like what you do. And he goes, what's a touch pass? So Joe Milligan, who is the front of house guy, like this big dude, I always tell him he's got banana hands. He's got giant hands. He's just this giant guy. And he goes, what's a touch pass? What's that mean? And Joe's like, it means this. He's got that big deep voice. It means this. And he just grabs Tom, because he don't know who Tom Holland is. He just grabs him by his throat. And he's just, his giant gaping hands are just, and his little melon head of, Tom Holland. He's just like, and he's just like, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm getting sued, And then the director of the movie that he was on, Joe Russo, who's also the director of Infinity War and Endgame and all those, big movies,
right,
pulls me to the side and he goes, can you somehow call ahead and get your actors to really kick the shit out of Tom? And I go, well, yeah, but you really want me to do that? And he was just like, yeah, man, it's going to be great. And I was like, oh my God. Turns out Joe Russo is a big haunt fiend. He loves going to haunted houses. So I'm like, okay. So I remember getting on the mic and it was like, Vic to Jen, because Jen's the first zone. Yeah, go ahead. I was like, all right, the first group's coming in. It's the guy in the purple touch pass. That's the guy you want. All zone leaders, guy in the purple touch pass. I remember saying that, and everyone's like, yep, got it. And I was like, oh my God.
You told us
this is going to be bad.
You told us it was a vlogger.
Yeah.
And so I ran through and told everybody, and then, I got into, I think I was in the lab, and I was like, because I think I was an actor short or something, so I was in there. And I waited, and he came through, and I was like behind the one little table, and I grabbed him, and I yanked him backwards across the table.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy looks familiar, because, down there it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
I was like, did I go to high school with him? Do I know him? Like, where do I know
Did we make out in the 7th grade?
No. Oh, no. No. I was like, do I know him from somewhere? So I let him go, and I was like, whatever. And so I went about my night, and I let my actors go to break, and I think it was Ray. He came back, and he was like, do you know who that guy was? And I was like, he looked familiar, but, it was dark. I couldn't really tell. He goes, that was Tom Holland. And I was like, my light bulb went off, and I was like, I almost killed Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God, I almost killed Spider-Man.
Yeah, I remember that call coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in the bullpen when, I remember this.
Yeah.
I was in the bullpen area. And I come hauling ass down this hallway coming out of solitary and went for the guy in purple with the purple pass. All I saw was a little tiny guy shoot straight up in the air like a cat.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. Even after that, didn't know who it was or what he was doing.
Yeah.
but we got him.
So we're really a Spider-Man.
Shout out to Tom Holland.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
This
got the more shout-outs on this show than ever.
That's right.
It was hysterical, though, because he goes through the house, and he was legit scared. Like I said, he was scared going in. He goes through the house, goes through solitary, and you get to your first cue break, the break in the line, and he looks at me and goes, "Are we done?" Like, legit, he's like, "Are we done?" I was like, "No." He's like, "No, you're not even close, man." He's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Are we halfway?" I was like, "No, not yet." And he's just like, "Oh, my God." So then they go through West Cell Block, and then he goes through East Cell Block, and I met him up here in the mailroom. Now, by the time he got to the mailroom, I think he kind of picked up on everything, and he was having a little bit more. He was still skittish, but he was like, "I get it now." You know what I mean? They're not going to really rip my head off and, do all this crazy stuff. But it was funny because when they came out of the basement, they come up and they had a blast because there was a bunch of people, and we get a picture. So I had like Zach and I think Ronnie and Andrea, me and Brian. It was a few of us and a couple people from the reformatory. So we get this picture, and at this point I haven't told anybody who it was yet, but Zach figured it out, and he was sitting there and he goes. He gets the picture taken, and we start to bring him to the back because we weren't going to let him go out the front. So we're taking him back, and I see Zach just kind of looking. He's kind of looking at him like, because at this point, he had a shaved head because the movie he was on was Cherry, where he plays like a Army veteran or something. So he's got his head shaved, and he looks at me, and I kind of looked at him. I was like, "What's the matter?" And he goes, "Is that?" And I go, "You know who that is, don't you?" And he goes, "Is that Spider-Man?" I go, "Yep." And he was just like, he's doing this. He starts breathing. I'm like, "Jesus, Zach, calm down, bro. I want him to come back, so don't be all." He's like, "Why didn't you tell us?" And I go, "This is why I didn't tell you, because I didn't need this going on through the haunt,
That's why you heard it was a vlogger.
Yeah, that's why it was a vlogger. But I needed the show to be, I wanted you guys to really, give it to this guy. So it was good stuff. We've had we had Dog the Bounty Hunter here one time. Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, that was year I was pregnant, so I didn't get to see it.
Oh, that's right. You were home. Anyways, George.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I remember that well.
I'm totally kidding, Aslan. You're the best.
Did you just call me Aslan?
I said Allison.
Aslan. You heard it loud and clear.
Aslan.
Yeah, I remember the Dog the Bounty Hunter coming through.
Yeah.
What shocked me the most is he's about an inch shorter than me.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Dude, that was me too. Dude, he's tiny.
He's a tiny guy.
When I first met the dude, I was like, because on the show, he seems like he would be a big dude.
6'4", right?
No.
That's what you think.
No, he's more like 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
literally, because I'm 5'7", so he's about an inch smaller.
Yeah, and then...
He's my height.
Yeah. And then his wife, Beth, was there. And they were really nice people. She cussed a lot. I remember that.
She passed away too?
She did, yeah. Oh. She was like 6 or 7 months after she was at the haunt. I don't know, she was going through some health issues, and then she did pass away. But a dog was like super nice, and we were standing out front where the food vending is, and that's what they wanted to do first. Like, we want to get something to eat. So they go to the food vendors to get some food. And I don't remember the name of it's like a bail bondsman around here in the Mansfield area. I don't remember the name of them, but they were kind of like who knew them and were bringing them around. And they were also friends with a guy who shows his face around here named Tony. You guys know Tony? Tony Dotson? Okay.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Tony.
So Tony's standing there like, you know how Tony is. He's just like, this is, I did all this. This is all me. This is because of me, And I hope he sees this because I'm busting balls. But so I tell Ronnie's got a chainsaw. He was in his clown makeup. He has his chainsaw. And I go, "Ronnie," I said, "Go down." He goes, "Should I go scare him?" I was like, "Yeah, man, go get some. Go get him." It's like, okay. So he goes down there, and it was Dog or Beth, one, I don't remember. They don't see him, and he just ends up, "Rah!" And they're like, "Ah!" They turn around like, "Oh my God." Tony's like, "Ronnie!" He starts yelling at him like, "Ronnie, what are you doing?" I'm just like, he's doing what he's supposed to do. What is wrong with you, man? He's all, and then then Tony had to follow them through the haunt, and like, he's like trying to make sure that nobody, got too close to Dog and Beth, and I'm just like, what are you doing? They don't have touch passes, man. They ain't gonna do nothing. But it was just so funny. Tony was taking the lead.
We love you, Tony.
Yeah. He's a bull in a china shop, Tony. That was good stuff, though. Yeah. So, are you guys looking forward to Incarceration this year?
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
It's going to be fun. We're going to be open for that.
A lot of big acts coming in.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be good stuff. I don't know for sure, but I think they're going to change the layout a little bit. Like they're going to move things around, so it's going to be kind of a different layout, but it's going to be fun.
Yes,
for sure.
Always is.
Always is a good time.
Bigger and better every year.
Evanescence is a bucket list band for me.
Yeah, that's right.
They're one of my childhood bands that I've always wanted to see, so that's kind of cool.
Will we get to see them?
They're one of the bigger names, so more than likely.
We'll have to figure that out because that was the main thing that the last 2 years I've been kind of, well, not 2 years because 2020 didn't have it, but last year especially, I saw, here's the bands I saw: Slipknot, Mudvayne, and Rob Zombie. That's the only bands I saw.
See, we saw more these last year than we've ever saw, because like it used to be we got out and saw the last 3 bands and that was it.
Yeah.
And then last year we saw like the last like 6, because we got out like, I don't know if they went later or like,
well, I think we stopped at either 7, but this last year I was like, well, let's just go until 6, and we stopped an hour early. Because
I think we saw there was like 2 sets before the very last bands that we saw this last year. So I'm hoping we see. I want to see Evanescence and I want to see Sick Puppies this year.
Yeah. I want to see. I've seen Korn. I've seen Disturbed. I've never seen Breaking Benjamin, but whatever. I don't really care to see them.
They'd be cool to see.
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't really know any of their music. But Code Orange, I kind of want to check them out. They're kind of cool. And Korn always puts on a great show. I've seen Korn 3 or 4 times, and they've always put on a good show. Now, that was many, many years ago when Korn was,
younger.
Yeah, But I mean, even last year, Slipknot did pretty good. You know what I mean? They still were pretty wild. Now, it's just funny to see a lot of these bands that have, like, Slipknot. I think their first album technically came out in '99. So that's 20 years. Mm-hmm. And the first time I saw those guys, they were like just, you didn't know what you were looking at exactly. It was like this just crazy masked, Corey Taylor's like, rah! He's like throwing up out of his mask, and the one dude is like jumping on the clown and just beating the piss out of him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just wild. And you're going, what is going on? Same with Korn. The first time I saw Korn, they opened for Ozzy, and there was nothing going on. It was just them on the stage, and it was just playing their instruments, and that was the first album, so it was like real raw, but it was like nothing I'd ever heard before. And the second time I saw them, they were coming out, and like Jonathan Davis was riding this old bike. He had this old bicycle with a big banana seat on it. It was all decked out, and it was kind of like moving when he's pedaling. He's just like, so it was always just this crazy stuff going on. So I am looking forward to that for sure.
It's kind of cool to see like the older bands like that coming out now, but a lot of the bands that are playing this year are like a lot of old Warped Tour bands. So like a big one that's like I Prevail, I've seen them I think 3 or 4 times already. The first year that I saw I Prevail, they were on like one of the really, really small stages at Warped Tour. Mm-hmm. And to see them now work their way up to like the big stage at like Incarceration now, I'm like, it's so cool to see them grow and like.
Well, what's funny is that I think the first year it became Incarceration, because it used to be called Ink and the Clink. Yeah, and we did one haunt show during Ink and the Clink. And then it became Incarceration. And the first year, it was, I'm going to say Black Label Society, Bush, and who was the other one? It was, because Bush was Saturday and Black Label was Sunday. I can't remember who the Friday night headliner was. But now, like, Black Label is back on this. They're coming back for Ink. Yeah. But they're more kind of down, they're not like in the main part of they're like maybe the 4th or 5th band out. So it's just to see how it's evolved, was really cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing, obviously, my brother Jelly Roll come up to the prison and do this show. I'm also looking forward to Lacuna Coil.
Yeah.
Dude, they're coming a long way to be here.
Oh, yeah.
And I've loved them for a long time, so shout out to Christina. And also, some friends of mine, Impending Lies, this is their second time playing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're coming back this year, and they're from here in Ohio.
All right.
So looking forward to seeing Impending Lies as well.
Yes.
I think the other band that year was Rise Against.
You were correct.
Yes.
It was Rise Against.
I was thinking about
That was
for
the
a second.
first. Yeah, that was the first year.
I think that was 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was year I was pregnant.
Yes.
It was.
That's how you remember. That's like her.
It is. I gauge it and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
2018 was the year I was pregnant.
That's her time clock. So I was knocked up in 18.
It was.
I called her knocked up for like a
It
year.
did that entire year.
You ever seen that movie, Knocked Up?
Because I found that I was pregnant in January and I had my son on October 10th.
Yeah.
So that entire, like...
Timing's everything, and boy, Allison just knocked it out of the park. Knocked it out of the park. Pun intended.
I went to the urgent care because I thought I had the flu. It was not the flu.
Yeah, but now you got.
You had the flu, all right.
Now I have a very amazing 3-year-old.
That's right. See, now you got a Haunter in training.
He's very much so.
Yeah.
He goes around the house going, "Arr!"
Good stuff.
Granted,
Good stuff.
I think it's more dinosaur than it is Haunter, but we'll work on it.
Hey, it all works, man. It all goes together. You know, I'm just honored that I get to work with, awesome people like you guys, and that I get to do this for a living, and, be around like such a fun environment. You know what I mean? Just doing the haunting stuff, because you meet so many different kinds of people, from like, George, who's, in the music business and does a lot of, the hip hop stuff from on the mic to behind, the scenes, and everybody, and it's just how the haunts evolved, George and Allison doing the zombie mosh pit, and now they're zone leaders, and it's just great to see, man. It's great to see. I love it a lot.
From a long way.
Yeah. What's the matter, George?
Oh, nothing. I was just adjusting. No, I was trying to come up with something to say and didn't. Couldn't do it.
Right.
Couldn't do it right there. It's all right.
It's okay, man. I'm just telling you how much I love you. I'm pouring my heart out.
I know I can,
You
playing
just-
footsie
you
with
just-
me under the table here.
You were playing footsie with me, so I moved my foot.
You know what? It's because my legs are short.
I noticed you can't touch the floor.
Well, one side or the other,
Oh, man.
Keeps dangling.
So one more thing, George, I wanted to ask you about,
Yeah.
which I think you got some with you. I want to hear about citrus shock.
Oh, shit. Okay. I just developed my own hot sauce with a company called Dragon VO Hot Sauce, based out of Texas. It's a veteran-owned and operated company.
Nice.
With a gourmet chef, Jason Atwood. That's his name. String Atwood. But he has a hot sauce company. And I reached out to them and was like, hey, I have this idea for this hot sauce. Can we make this happen? They liked the idea, and we went ahead with it. They sent me a sample bottle, and we are fully in production right now.
So was it did you come up with the recipe and everything?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Are you a fan of like really hot food?
Always, yeah.
Yeah? Allison,
everything.
you like hot food?
No.
No?
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, just playing around in my own kitchen.
Yeah.
But to actually have a company who's going to reach in and partner with me, then, it's a pretty big thing.
So what's in it then? What are we looking at here?
It has an orange base, orange and lemon, citrus.
Yeah.
And habanero pepper. So I guess the description for it is what I told him, was I wanted it to be sweet at first. I wanted it to be like a sweet heat.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be sweet. And then once the heat kicks in, I want it to feel like you got struck by lightning in the mouth. And he is a master chef, cooked this shit up perfect to, I couldn't have made it better myself.
Yeah?
So, yeah. And I want to drop something here on the podcast. I've already designed the first ever Blood Prison hot sauce.
Oh, God. Here we go.
I'm already working on the second.
Yeah?
But the first one is already designed and ready to go, and we'll talk about this off the air. But
here we go.
Here's how I designed it. Blood Prison hot sauce.
Yeah.
Warden's blood.
Oh, there we go.
Okay?
Warden's blood.
It's going to be a Louisiana-style hot sauce.
Okay. Cayenne type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With a little bourbon.
Ooh. Very nice.
And since it's Blood Prison, I have to go with ghost pepper.
Yeah, see, I'll never eat it.
So you want me to grow something so they can be
Yeah, but I mean,
grown?
how could you use any other pepper but ghost pepper for a Blood Prison hot sauce?
Exactly.
So,
There's
this is all thought out and planned out.
Yeah, let's talk, man. That's a really cool idea.
Yes.
Warden's blood.
Yes, and I already have the second one lined up and ready to go, but it's not in development yet.
Yeah.
But it will be.
Well, you know what? We'll promote the hell out of that. And you know what? I'm not... Look, I like hot food. I like spicy food. But I just can't do the melt your face. So I'm not saying I won't try it. I will definitely try it. But yeah, I'm interested in that. I want to try the first one. We'll do that too.
Well, yeah. Jason Atwood, the chef who's creating this.
Yeah.
I guess he studied under one of the original creators who made Pace Picante sauce.
Nice.
So,
so he's legit, man.
Oh, he's legit, definitely.
Yeah.
So once we get that going, yeah, it's gonna be a thing.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. Well, hell yeah, man. Let's talk, and we'll look at like packaging and all that good stuff, and look at label design. So let me ask you this though: on the one you have now, is it good like for like tacos or chicken wings or what's its?
I tried it first. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
Ordered a bunch of wings, dumped it on it. Had the waitress try it even.
Nice.
She said, "Now Buffalo Wild Wings has how many sauces?"
I don't know, a lot.
The waitress told me that they don't have any kind of sauce like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have any there. She liked it. Said it was very spicy for her. Couldn't eat it.
I was asking like what it goes good on, like.
I stopped at wings. Worked well on wings.
Yeah.
I stopped at a seafood place, got some fish and chicken and shrimp, and tried it on all that because of the orange and the lemon.
Right.
That it went well with all three of those items. So like
Nice.
a breaded product, it's gonna go well.
That's amazing because that's the thing. Like when I eat fish, I don't eat. I'm not a huge seafood eater, but I like fish. But I don't like tartar sauce. I always put hot sauce on
Yes.
when I eat fish.
Yes.
So that's cool.
So yeah, it worked on all three of the products.
What's the matter? You don't like seafood?
I'm allergic to shellfish, but
That could be funny.
no. But mild is too spicy for me most of the time. So no, that's
So what you do is you take a toothpick
no.
and you just put a little on the end of your toothpick and
Nope.
it's like that.
No.
It's not gonna hurt you. It's
No.
not like he's asking you to take. You ever done the one chip challenge? You ever see them? We got to do that on here one of these days.
Okay. Now that you bring that up, I got something for you.
I ain't doing it. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, the one chip challenge.
So who are you gonna do
The
it?
Packy, is that the company?
Yeah, it's like Packy,
Well,
whatever.
their chip is like 1.5 million Scoville heat units.
Okay.
We have something. The guy who's making my sauce, the chef, has something coming out called the Texas Fire Wheel Challenge, and this is over 11 million Scoville heat units.
Why would you eat that?
Why didn't you get some of the scorpion peppers and some of the? I had scorpion and ghost peppers in my garden last year.
Oh well, I didn't know that you had a garden last year.
Yeah, you could have asked.
You could have just gave us the info.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know you were making hot sauce
You know,
last year.
I never just walk up and go, "Hey, Allison, how's your garden?"
I didn't ask. Hey, George, how's your hot sauce?
Like two, like brother and sister bickering each other.
And this
Yeah.
this is all the time.
Does your husband eat or your fiance eat hot
Oh,
stuff?
yes.
Yeah. So that's why you got
He
the
did
ghost.
he did the one chip challenge. It was hilarious. Him and his cousin did it together.
Mike Tom did that here. Someone brought one of those in during the build, and he was like, he's like, I'll do anything. I don't care. I'll do it. And somebody on the build crew just like broke a corner, like maybe that piece off, and he ate it. And he was just like, that was stupid. I should not have done that. And then he drank water. He's like, oh my God, that was wrong. Shouldn't have done that. And Mike walks out and he was just like, I'm going to eat this damn thing. I don't care. I'll do whatever. I'm Mike Tom. And he just grabs the thing and he just, raw, and he just eats it. Ugh. And I looked at him and go, that was dumb, dude. I go, you realize that you're going to be hurting. And he walked around all just like, no big deal. But dude, he was like sweating. His skin was just like gleaming from sweat. He's like, dude, that's hot.
Mike Ton does give a fuck.
Yeah. Oh no fucks given there. But he ate the thing and he was just like, oh my God.
That was a really good impression.
Oh, that's what he does. That's how he is.
You've got the Mike Tom impression like
He's
down.
just like, God, get me out of here. He's like bails through everything. But yeah, he did that. I wouldn't do that. But I've watched so many videos of the one chip challenge where I'm just dying laughing. There's one of Shaq doing it. If you ever get online, like YouTube or whatever, just look up Shaquille O'Neal one chip challenge, and that's going to be one of the funniest ones that you've ever seen, because he eats. First of all, the chip is like that big in his hand because he's giant, and he like eats it. And he's just like, I won't even make a face. I won't even make a face. And he eats the chip, and he gives a shout out to his fraternity from college, and he's like, this is what we do. And he starts coughing, and the next thing you know, he's just like peeling his clothes off and he's just running off the set. Damn. Check it out. It is hysterical. I love that.
Have you ever watched the show Hot Ones?
Is that the one where they do all the chicken wings and they have
Shaq was on there too.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he couldn't hack the one chip challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah, like this dude asked the celebrities all these questions, and the sauces like gradually get hotter, and they're just eating them as they do the questions.
Yes.
And the guy that's asking the questions just doesn't even faze him.
Yeah.
He eats all these like hot sauces and stuff, and I'm pretty sure Shaq was on that one too.
That's one thing I've never done. Like at the hunt, I figured make people eat stuff. We went to a haunt, the Haunted Hoorah, before in its old location.
That was a good time.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And they made Anthony eat something. It was supposed to be like guts, and they made him eat it. And I go, what was it? He goes, I don't know what it was, but it was horrible. Beef bouillon. There's like those cubes.
Ooh. I remember we went to that. When we went to the Haunted Hoorah, there was that section, like there was a... Were you with us? I think Jen was with us. There was like a toilet in the corner, and it just smelled like straight shit. And there was a girl like in there like playing in it.
That was Jen.
And then they walked through the one section and they had like the walls that like
I hated that part.
You, and like their floor was like squished. That was a good haunt.
That
was a good time.
I had Brent in here like one of the very first episodes, and I told him, I was like, the damn shock walls, man. He's just laughed. He's like, yeah. I was like, those things are horrible.
That was bad.
Because you had no clue. You just walked in. You're like, oh.
We went to one recently. Was it? One of the ones down in Columbus that we just went to right before we opened last season. They had a shock wall too.
Oh yeah, you guys went to Carnage and Fear.
Yeah,
Fear
one of those two had a shock wall.
It was probably Carnage because I've been to Fear and I didn't.
It was probably Carnage. They were both really good, but in two different aspects.
Yeah.
They were both really good, but just very different types of haunts.
Right.
Like one was very like actor centric, very like spoken, like they got, and the other one was very like loud, like jump scare, like. But they were both a very good time.
Yeah. Yeah, we love going. We got to do that too. We got to get together and do some more haunts because we'll open. Actually, we're going to open on the last Saturday this year. I can't remember what it's. I want to say the 24th is the last Saturday of September. So we are going to open for that day. But if we can, we should all get together and go see our brothers and sisters in haunting. And
absolutely,
yes.
I love doing that. Love it.
We always love going up to see Chippewa too. They're
absolutely.
They were a blast.
We did the Lights Out this year.
That was so much fun.
That was fun. Yeah, I had a good time with that. And I don't know. You know what? I don't know if I should say anything because I don't want to like ruin it. But there's gonna be a new haunt, from what I understand, coming in Cleveland. So we'll have to check that out too. I don't know. I think there's a presence on social media for it right now. But I don't want to speak too soon and be like, man, what'd you say anything? But I know there is a new one coming out, so maybe we'll be able to check that one out. Just because, you always want to see, the new guy on the block or something you haven't experienced yet. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I'm always down to go see new ones.
Yeah. I mean, even going to just ones I've been to before, just to see what they've done different, is always fun. I just love doing it because it's the pure entertainment value of, just the experience. You know what I mean?
And I like going to see our guest actors on their home turf.
Yeah.
I love seeing them in their home element. Because it's one thing to see them act with us and see what they do with us, but to see them on their home turf, it's a whole new game, and it's so cool to see them. Like
we went up to we went up to the Akron Haunted Schoolhouse for their Valentine's Day haunt a couple years ago, and I know the owner John, and I've been trying to get him on the podcast too. But I kind of met him, and we became friends, and we would do little retreats up there, and I actually took some people from the reformatory up.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And then I took some people from here. George didn't get to go because he forgot that it was happening, and he couldn't make it, which sucked because you missed. Let's just cut to it. You missed Allison puking in her backpack.
I knew where this was going. On the bus
ride
back.
You puked in your backpack?
I did.
All right.
She was trying to be discreet about her puking.
No one on the bus knew I puked until we got to the Mexican place, and I was like, I puked in my backpack.
Yeah.
Jen did because you were sitting beside me.
How do you quietly do that and no one else knew?
She's a quiet puker, I guess. I'm a noisy puker because I don't puke that often.
Okay, this is what happened. So
she's just like,
yeah, if I go to puke, they're gonna know up the street.
So we were there,
yeah, right?
And we were doing pickleback shots, which is Jameson and pickle juice. Delicious.
Don't knock it, man. It's pretty good. I got to admit.
So we were doing lots of them. So Andrea, our warden's widow, and we did this breakfast shot, which was also very, very delicious. We did quite a few of those. So we were getting ready to go, and Andrea and I were like, let's do one more shot. So we ordered, the shot. The bartender made us a full drink.
Yeah.
And Vic's like, we got to go. We got to go. And so Vic's, genius over here goes, chug it. Andrea versus me, she chugs it in like one.
Yeah, it's just like a few gulp.
And it's gone. Me, I'm trying to chug it, and I'm like, oh, that was a bad idea. So we get on the bus. We were sitting in the back of the bus. You know how the back of the bus is usually, a little bumpier?
A little bouncier, yeah.
So we're on the way, headed back to Mansfield from Akron. So the back of the bus is like Akron roads, not the greatest.
Yeah, not really smooth.
So we were bouncing around, and, we get on the road, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be sick. And instead of puking on the reformatory's bus, I had a backpack, which didn't have anything super important in it. So I opened it and was just like, it wasn't like a super hurl. It was just a, bleh, and I was done.
So the backpack came in handy.
Yes,
yeah, apparently so, yeah.
And so we went to this Mexican restaurant to get food, and everybody's over.
With the backpack?
No, the backpack's out on the bus.
Oh, okay.
I had my wallet, which was in another pack.
But she ate. She's just like, well, I made some room, so
No, I had
give me a taco.
No, all I ate was chips. All I ate was chips and water.
Yeah.
This is also we told him it was Vic's birthday too.
Oh yeah.
It was not his birthday.
That became the thing there for that year too. They told him it was my birthday, so like they came out with a sombrero, and now
of course they did.
Yeah.
And tequila.
And tequila. So now there's this famous picture of me in a sombrero, just like, and I'm like, it's not my birthday, So when they came out, and they're like, hey, they're like doing the Mexican birthday song or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there just like, oh, somebody's birthday, and I kind of just turned around to look, and they were standing in front of me. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And they're just like, boom. I'm like, oh.
No, somebody was you.
Yeah.
So by the time I got the chips and the water, and I was sobered up enough that I felt better, and I was okay.
Yeah.
But
the cool thing was, though, is that John has alcohol at his haunt.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, you can go up there and, like, wait in line. Like, because Mike and Tom just went up to the schoolhouse for their Valentine's Day thing. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, we went up, got beers, waiting in line. They brought beer out to the line. Yeah.
It also didn't help that while we were doing the escape rooms, once we got through certain parts of the escape room, they had more shots waiting for us in the parts of the escape room.
We got out of the cage and they lined up shots for us.
And
Nice.
So during the escape room, I went to the bathroom, came back, and everybody's trying to figure stuff out. And there's like this box, and there's just the shiv like falls from the ceiling. And I'm like, what's the shiv for? I shoved it in the box as they're trying to figure it out, and the box pops open, and I'm like, my drunk ass figured it out, and y'all couldn't.
And we get out of there, and there's just choop shots, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, y'all just had to leave me there because I'd have been preoccupied with the shots and got lost.
That's what happened. That's why I was.
Did you guys make it out?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
In time?
We didn't beat the first one. The second one, we barely, it was like a few seconds. We made the
Nice.
Gypsy Voodoo one, but the jail cell one, we failed.
Well, and I'm useless, and I love escape rooms. They're so much fun, but I'm the guy that walks in, and I just start looking. I just start looking for everything. Because when you start asking me, Vic, get this puzzle and blah, blah, I'm like, you know what, dude? You might as well not even. I'm not even going to do it. I'm just useless on that stuff. But they're fun to do, and those ones up there are a good time.
I really liked the witchy one. I was very much in my element.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. They had the jail cell and it was a voodoo.
It was like you had to figure out like the potions and the spells and.
It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like you had to do the stakes like in the coffin at the end, and we were like, dude, we were like one away, and we almost beat it, but it was close.
Damn, it sounds fun.
It was fun.
I have to make it to the next one.
You should have been there.
I wish I was.
It was a very good time.
Yeah, picklebacks, man.
That started my obsession with now Jameson.
Yeah, when they first told us what it was, I was like, that's messed up, dude. I ain't gonna drink that. And the guys up there are like, listen, I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's really good, and it was really good. I gotta admit.
My poor bathroom at home smelled like pickle juice and maple syrup for a while because I had to clean out my backpack.
Yeah.
Because I had the breakfast shot.
Oh, I was gonna say, where'd the maple syrup come from? You guys missed that one.
No, the breakfast shot. It was like it tasted like maple. It tasted like maple syrup. I have to ask Andrea what was in it, but it tasted like breakfast. It was like
What did it taste like coming out?
Breakfast.
Regurgitated breakfast.
Yes. So it smelled like maple syrup and pickle juice for a while.
That sounds fun.
I was impressed though because when I found out that she had done that, I was just like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, just," and I was just like, "I'm not like this. See, I don't puke ever. It's rare but when I do, it's just like." I mean, I'm just like,
No, I just got motion sick.
Yeah, and it's like everybody, like you said, down the street, people were like, "What the hell's going on down there?"
No.
The last time I threw up was my 30th birthday. It was after my 30th birthday, because I was drunk, and it was the next morning. And my daughter, I think she was like maybe 10 at the time, and she's like knocking on the door because I'm over at my mom. She's knocking on the door. "Dad, what's the matter?" I'm just like, "Go back to bed." You know, and I'm just in there because she could hear me. It woke her up. She's like, "What's going on with you?"
It was almost like a kind of like it was like a burp, like
Yeah.
puke type thing. Like it was
She's
like.
She's also, hold on 1 second.
I lied. It wasn't just Jen that knew. Kylie knew too because she was sitting on my other side. But it was just.
Yeah.
It was just. And once I did, I was okay.
Well, that's how you know you have real friends because they didn't say anything to the rest of the car.
They didn't.
They couldn't believe it either. Just like.
It didn't smell. It wasn't anything.
They were like, "Oh, this nasty bitch."
Breakfast. Maple syrup.
Got any more? Got some pancakes in there?
And the sad part is I would have thrown that backpack back away, but it was one of those like charging ones that it was like that was a freaking expensive backpack. So I just like bleached it and cleaned it and scrubbed it, and I still carry it.
What are you gonna do?
This is an expensive backpack. I ain't throwing it away. You puked in it, Allison. So what?
I'm like, so I still carry it. It's got your name on it too. It's the one that
Sure, what to think about that one?
It's the one that I put Snap on.
Oh, you puked on my logo? I guarantee you're not the first person to do that.
I puked in your logo.
That's
See,
all right.
serves its purpose.
Some people can't handle their liquor.
That's right. So not all, as I say,
I drink like
we're all designed and built
I
differently.
drink like twice a year, and that's twice a year, and then whenever you take us out somewhere.
She did drink like that was a big drink. I'm like, just chug it, and because like it's a foo-foo fruity bullshit drink, just chug it down. She was like, gulp, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Big 16-ounce glass.
And then puts me in the back of the bus.
Yeah. She's got like the boot mug. She's like, I'll chug it.
Das Boot.
That was good times.
I don't
man.
even know how many shots I did either. That was a lot of shots.
Yeah, that was probably the last time I've done shots, and the first time in quite a while, because I don't do that anymore. But it was just
Mind you, we threw axes first.
Yeah, and we were throwing axes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fun. I recommend drunken axe throwing. I'm kidding, but not really.
I'm lucky I still have all 10 digits right now, on top, so I'll try to keep them.
Well, we'll have to do it again. I'm sure John will and definitely let us come back.
Do it in like August.
Because we didn't. Well, you can get off work.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen. It's been great swapping stories and talking haunt and everything that we talked about. And I want to thank you guys for coming on to the show. I want to have you guys back on again. Maybe we'll talk. I don't know. Maybe we'll get through the season and do a postseason show or something.
Definitely.
But this is going to be the last one for a little while. We're going to go to Transworld. So we'll come back and report on that. I'm thinking maybe we'll go live at Transworld on one of the pages, maybe on YouTube or Instagram or something.
Let's do it.
So we'll go live from Transworld and check in just so everybody can see what's going on and what we're up to. I think that'll be fun. Maybe we'll make Jen get on it.
Maybe we'll take some videos when we road trip with the zone leaders all in my car.
Jen will absolutely be on it. Absolutely.
We should take videos for sure because you guys are driving down together. I'm driving down with Brian and Andrea because we're vending there. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we're going like way early to get the booths and everything set up. So that could be some interesting video. Maybe cut together a Transworld Shakedown
compilation.
Yeah.
There you go. Check us out at Transworld Booth 903.
That's right. That's where I'm going to be.
Well, we know who our videographer is for the trip.
There you go.
The road trip.
It'll cost you. I'm kidding.
It'll cost you. Don't point at me.
He's the one that's going to use the footage.
It's going down. Yeah, we're going to make a lot of videos and things like that. And I'm learning editing things myself too, guys.
Road trip videos.
Absolutely.
Well, you got to do road trip before and after. Because, you do the road trip down where you guys are going to be like, let's go. We're going to Transworld. And then Trans will be like, look at this stuff. And then the way home, you're going to be like,
dogs with their tails tucked, just, let's get home.
You see me driving.
So here's her driving. See your hand. What happened? Wake up.
It could happen.
Transworld is a fun but a very exhausting week. Of course, I'm going to be there for like many more days. Are you guys going home on the Monday? Mm-hmm. Okay, sweet. So then, yeah, you'll understand that. You'll be ready. You'll be ready to go home for sure. But it's a good time. You guys are going to have a great time. In the City Museum, you guys are going to love that as well.
10-story slide.
Looking forward to doing it all.
Hell yeah. And then we'll come back and talk about that on the next Blood Prison Shakedown. Again, thank you, Allison and George, for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
You're going to see these two every October and during incarceration right here at Blood Prison. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back next time after Transworld on the Blood Prison Shakedown. Thanks, guys.